Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just gonna wait for a few people to hop on and turn my phone on silent because it's going crazy today. It's Monday, but I wanna make sure that you guys have my attention. What's going on? Hi Ramona, hi Heidi, hey everybody. Let me know where you are popping in from today. If you're watching the replay, drop a replay. I'm super excited you're here. So what I'm gonna go over today, I'm gonna try and keep it to like 10-15 minutes. I have another call happening right at 6 here on the East Coast, but I wanna go over your social media, your brand, and creating your own brand. How to do that, why to do it, and how to really effectively grow your business, whatever that may be. Whether it is your own private business, a network marketing business, direct sales, maybe you sell windows, I don't know. But one thing that I have found is that it is super, super key to, if you're using social media, if you choose to use social media to build your business, which I highly recommend, it is so important to brand yourself because there are so many competitors out there. People have so many options nowadays, especially with the internet, that they want to know that they can trust you, they can follow you, and most importantly, that you're going to take care of them. They want to be able, what is happening here? Guys, it's a problem. Pregnancy hair. People told me that you get all these like wispies when you're pregnant. That happens. Hi Maureen, hi Ranchelle. So I'm going to just go through a few of my key things. If you have a pen and paper or are taking notes, now is definitely the time to do that. Okay, so you are your own brand. I always tell people starting off, your social media profile is your free storefront. What do I mean by that? You are your own storefront. That means a couple things. One, you want to be consistent, right? If I were to go to Starbucks today, right now, and they were closed at 5:30, I'd be like, okay. And then I went tomorrow and they were closed at 2, and then they were open the next day, and then maybe the next day they were closed. I would be confused, right? And I wouldn't have that that confidence that they would be open the next time I want to go. So I'd probably not keep going to that Starbucks, right? Your social media is your same thing. It is your free storefront. You have to think of it as a storefront. And that being said, you need to be open when you're open, right? That doesn't mean don't take a day off. That doesn't mean post 12 times a day. That's bananas. But you need to be open. You need to be consistent so people know that they can rely on you. The other thing with your storefront, right, is, and this is a personal preference, but I strongly believe it, no politics, right? Nothing super controversial because you are your own storefront, okay? So if you were to go to Target and they were anti this or pro this, it doesn't mean that you can't have your own opinion. It's just you're going to likely chase away the other half of the population that doesn't agree with you, and that's not what you want. So I try to stay away from politics. I try to stay away from controversial topics. People know that I'm spiritual. They know I'm religious, but I don't, really take any other controversial topics past that. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to real quickly, let me just pull up my notes, go over some do's and some don'ts. So if you are following here with me, I'm going to start with the do's. Number 1, do post consistently, right? So try to post every single day if you are intending to use social media for your business building practices. If you're not, then no worries. But if you want to build your social media if you want to build your business through your social media, you want to post consistently. You want to post at the right times, right? This is going to look different for everybody, but typically a post at 3 o'clock in the morning, not a lot of people are awake. Not a lot of people are going to see it or engage with it, and that means the algorithm's going to go down. What happens when the algorithm goes down? Basically, Mark Zuckerberg says, well, nobody's commented on this, nobody's liked this in the first hour or even 2 hours, so it's really not that important. We're not going to push it to the top of the feed. We're going to push it to the bottom, which means you've posted, and it might be the best, most inspirational, most knowledgeable post in the world, but if nobody's seeing it, then it doesn't really matter, right? So post at the right times, right? If you are a mom and you have a lot of mom friends and you find yourself checking out your social media at, let's just say, 8:30, 9 o'clock when the kids are off to school and right before you start your day, that's probably when your market and your other mom friends are going to be scrolling their social media as well, right? If you're maybe 20, 24 years old, you're up around 10:30 or 11 at night, right before you go to bed, looking through your social media, that's probably when your friends are posting. So tweak it, play with it, and then start to stay consistent. For me, I try to post, between 7:30 and 9:30 in the evening. That's when my followers seem to be on and engaging with my posts. Speaking of engagement, engage with other people's posts. This is so important. Social media is not a one-way street, right? This is not take, see my post, love, love, love. You want to engage with your followers, right? So when people are commenting on your post, take the time to go back and respond to them. Thank you so much for the love on my post, right? Tag them, tag their name. Everybody, look at this. Guys, it's a problem. Everybody loves to hear their own name, right? So tag them back. Hey, Katie, thanks so much for the love on my post. Happy New Year to you too, right? And then go, when people's posts are showing up in your feed, comment on them, like them. Better yet, love them or wow them, because that stands out, right? So Mark Zuckerberg, he created all these new things that we see coming up, and I know that the wow and the love and all that have been around for about a year and a half, but they're still relatively new. He created them for a reason. He's a smart guy. So if you go and you love somebody's post, or you wow it, or thumbs, or whatever, other than just a like, that is going to stand out more, right? So really important to know that. Really, really important to do that. Next thing, and I'm breezing through this because I have a call again at 6 o'clock, but I also want to value everybody's time. I know you guys are busy. I know we have some moms on here, some working moms, stay-at-home moms. By the way, drop a 1 if you are a new mama, and then give me your best tips, right? Because most of you guys know we have a baby, our first baby coming in just a few weeks, so I will take all the tips that I can get. So drop a 1 if you're a new mama. Okay, so voice message option, right? I love the voice message option. I try to keep, at least 70% of my conversations through Facebook chat on the voice message option. I just voice message them. Really, really fun rule to know. If you mess up, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I messed up. If you are holding onto your phone, holding onto it, and you find that you messed up, you can swipe up and it will delete your message, right? So if you're like, hey girl, how's it going? I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no, you don't have to send that. You're not forced to send it, right? Just swipe up and it'll delete and you can start over. But I love the voice message option. It's so much more personable, right? I love that. This is a relationship business, not just network marketing, but any business, if you're using social media, is a relationship business. You have got to build relationships with people, and the best way to do that, unless you're face-to-face with them, is to be doing it, over Zoom or via voice message. They can feel your energy. They can feel your sincerity or authenticity, and I think that's really cool. It just sets you apart from everybody else. So I love the voice message option. All right, so now for some of the don'ts. Those were some of the do's, right? Post consistently, post at the right times. Engage on other people's posts, use the voice message option. These are just some basics. Now some of the don'ts. So do not use stock photos. You guys, if you're taking notes, write this in big, bold letters. Again, do not use stock photos. I love all the inspirational quotes out there. I think they're fantastic. Don't just Google, I don't know, fitness inspiration, and then download the stock photo of that quote and post it up there, right? You want to have scroll stopping pictures, and that's not a scroll stopping picture, right? So people are going to scroll right by it, which means they're going to engage with it less, which means Facebook is going to say it's not as important as it probably is, right? So not to say you can't use those quotes, Don't use them and pretend they're your own if they're not. You can quote somebody. But what I like to do when I find a quote that I love is I'll attach it to, I'll type it in the post, but I'll attach it, to a picture of me or a picture of, some of my best girlfriends or me and my husband or whatnot, right? Don't use stock photos. I promise people will scroll right by them. It will lower your engagement. It will lower your affinity. And it kind of just doesn't really say much that's very personable about you. Again, this is a relationship business. People want to see you. They want to see your face, right? They want to see what you're up to. They can Google inspirational quotes, fearless quotes all day long. They want to see you, right? And on that note, if you're using quotes, I love to use quotes. A lot of times I'll put a quote at the top to kind of make people stop and read it, and maybe a picture of myself or my husband or something like that. But then I'll also put in a couple lines underneath why that resonated to me, what my take on that is, right? Because when we all read the same quote, there's 1,000 different ways to take it. And so it's just a great way to engage with your audience, let them get to know you a little bit more, and potentially provide a different perspective for them. So don't use stock photos. Don't post links, right? Again, now forget affinity and Facebook algorithms, because even if Facebook algorithms weren't a thing, which they are, I would still be saying all of these things, right? Because we are about connecting with people. But do not post links. The reason why, one, people want to know your thoughts, your opinion, your knowledge, your personality. But also, Mark Zuckerberg does not want you going away from Facebook. So the second you post a link, that is taking you away from Facebook, which means Facebook, again, is going to look at it and push it to the bottom of the news feed because they want you to stay on their site. Just marketing, just makes sense, right? So don't post links. And don't post links like directly to your business, like buy my stuff. It's so spammy. It's really generic. People have seen it 1,000 times. They're turned off by it, and I personally don't think it's ever worked. I've never seen it work for me personally. And so, I'm really big on building relationships. What else? Do not post about politics. I already said that. Do not post anything negative, controversial, or complain. Well, there is so much negativity out there in the world. Drop a 2 if you just stop watching the news, because you're like, oh my goodness, like everything on the news is so sad or scary nowadays. And I'm not saying to live in a la-la land, but it's crazy to watch the news. There's so much negativity out there already. So don't be posting it on your social media, right? Don't, I've seen so many people, 2018 sucked, I'm ready for 2019. I unfollow those people faster than I can even finish their posts, because I just don't want that in my life. I don't want that on my feed, and I promise you other people will do the same if you're posting that. Do not have blurry photos or bad lighting. This is key. This is, I think, the most important. Good lighting in photos is everything, because as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we want to have scroll stopping pictures. A scroll stopping picture is something that if somebody is scrolling through their feed, because we all do this, right? And they stop, right? Because the picture is what captivates them more often than not, right? So you have to have a picture with good lighting, not blurry. And I don't necessarily suggest hiring a professional photographer for all of your pictures. That's a lot, right? Although you can do that, but that's a lot. But you have to have good lighting, right? So right now, my house is really, really dark naturally. So I have a ring light. I use it for a lot of my pictures and stuff like that. I can move it around the house. But I also have one of these that hooks onto my phone, right? Just like this. And then the light turns on. And then I can take my selfies. I can turn it around this way if somebody's taking a group picture. So there's always good lighting. Good lighting is everything. It makes people stop and scroll on your pictures. Super, super important. I promise you, you will not regret it. You will notice a huge difference. All right, so those were the do's and the don'ts. I'm going to wrap things up here. Let me see. Sorry, guys, I got to find my notes. Okay. Developing your brand, right? Be who you want to attract, okay? This is really, really important. A lot of people, and I used to do this, I would see somebody's social media that I really liked and I was attracted to, and I would try to duplicate that exact thing. Do not do that. Your followers, your friends will see right through it. It will feel so unnatural to you, and it will be exhausting to try and be somebody that you're not, right? So I recommend, this is what I did. I sat down one day. I took maybe 35, 40 minutes, and I just started writing a lot of stuff about me. What are my values? What do I like? What don't I like? You know, what do I have fun doing? What do I look forward to doing? What movies do I like? You know, what are my goals? What's my job, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I just brainstormed a bunch of random words all over the place. And then I started like circling the big ones that jumped out at me. And so now I pretty much have, you know, 3 to 5 things that I'm consistently posting about that I feel are a good, you know, synopsis of who I am. So I cannot even tell you how many people have come to my page and flat out told, or excuse me, I've met in person and have told me, you know, I've met them for the first time and they're like, Nicole, I feel like I know you. Like, I follow your social media. I feel like I already know you, right? That is good. That is the biggest compliment to me, because that says that I'm doing a good job of sharing who I am and developing my own brand. So if you go to my page, you're going to see a lot of energy. I have a lot of energy, a lot of sarcasm, some funny things like that. You're going to see a lot about myself and my husband. I shared our infertility journey very publicly. That was something I chose to do. But once I chose to do it, I was very consistent about it. And it attracted that following of people who could relate to that or who were curious about that. And so I was very vulnerable with that. I share a lot about business because I love business. I run a couple different businesses, and so I've always shared my passion for entrepreneurship and time freedom, financial freedom, things like that. And I'm attracting people who have those same values, who share those same visions as I do. So that is really, really important. Be who you want to attract. For example, I also post a lot about health. That's really important to me. You're constantly going to see little snippets of like a Starbucks cup in the background of where, you know, of a picture of mine or something like that, because I'm always at Starbucks, but it's how I've branded myself, right? I'm at Target all the time, so people start to get to know me for that. I make jokes about how much, you know, time and money I waste in Target. I talk about being busy and hardworking, but refusing to settle. I repeat these things over and over and over again so people know what to expect. And that doesn't mean I'm going to attract everybody. A lot of people are probably not going to be attracted by that, right? They're going to be turned off. That's great. I don't want to work with those people anyways, and they probably don't want to work with me. Actually, they don't want to work with me. So you're really just creating your own brand. Don't worry about who you're going to push away and who you're not, because at the end of the day, you're here to be yourself. This is your social media. This is your business. You're building your brand. Not everybody's going to love you, and that's okay. That is normal. So let me see. The last thing that I want to touch on is having a social media plan, right? How many of you, drop a 3 if you have heard the saying, what is the saying? If you fail to plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Pregnancy brain, guys. That could not be more true. I can't even tell you how many times I've said, oh, I'm going to be so consistent, and I'm going to post every day this week, and they're going to be good posts, and they're going to be so well thought out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I just, life happens. It gets in the way. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it the next day. And then next thing you know, it's been 4 or 5 days, or even worse than not posting at all is posting just to post, and you have like kind of a crappy post. Right? And we've all done that. Give me a thumbs down if you've like posted just to post and then you're like, oh my gosh, that was useless, because we just failed to plan, right? And so having a social media plan is really, really key. I like to plan out 12 days in advance, right? So for example, I have like a marketing calendar right here, right? And I have it run for 12 days, and I know what topics I'm going to post about. Now, I have a ton of like posts pre-written in my phone that I can just pull that would match some of those topics, but that took me a while to get there. I would save things as I was reading personal development and whatnot, and you know, it took me honestly quite a while to have this many posts just saved into my notes. However, having a plan, at least knowing your topic, is really, really important. So for example, you know, the other day I posted about, you know, pregnancy, having the baby. That's a huge part of our life right now, so we're sharing that. The next day I posted about self-care. The next day just something funny, right? Because I like to have a sense of humor. That's important to me, so I try to share that with my followers. The next day, you know, a personal success story. The next day something vulnerable, right? And again, by the way, side note, if you're being vulnerable, it doesn't mean that you're sharing like, oh my gosh, woe is me, here are all the things that are wrong in my life. If you choose to be vulnerable, which I highly recommend because people need that in their life, they need to see that you are real, that you are human, that you are not perfect, and that you have something that they can relate to, right? So I encourage being vulnerable, but I also encourage very strongly finding the positive side of that, right? So if you're going through a hard time right now, and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you don't have any way to turn it into something positive, I probably wouldn't post about that right now until your mindset is in a better place, until you've come out on the other end or you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you have a way to make it a positive experience or a growing experience, right? To inspire, to motivate, to propel people. But I don't know how I got there. That's a total side note. So anyways, that's my schedule, you know, and I have 12 days out so that when I am getting ready to post something, I know what I'm going to post about, right? I'm not just scrambling at the last minute. I am being intentional and I am being consistent. And the other part of this social media plan, the other reason you want this is because you want to switch up your content. When I don't have a plan, I find myself going business, 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 baby, 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 funny, 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 funny. And then there's no excitement there. People get tired of it. Like even if they're super business oriented, they don't want to read that every single day. So plan out your social media, be intentional, be consistent, switch up your content, and most importantly, add value. Be a follow-worthy person, right? So I always tell people to increase your following, provide more valuable content that attracts your ideal follower. So if you're taking notes, and we're wrapping things up here, if you are taking notes, your post should do one of these three things. They should either inform/educate people, they should entertain, they should inspire or motivate, right? Or they should prompt someone to take action. If your posts do not do one of these four things, it is not, in my opinion, and in many other people's opinions, it is not a follow-worthy post. It is kind of like a throwaway post because people are coming to your page because they want to be educated, inspired, propelled, motivated, etc., right? So you want to put some thought into your social media posts. It can be somewhat time consuming. It's not something that you can just throw together. And that's why I always tell people, if you want to build your business through social media, you need to plan ahead and you need to plan that it's not going to just happen overnight, right? It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. You have to be consistent and you have to be doing that for, you know, quite some time in order to build that following, to build that not only confidence in yourself, but to build those habits and kind of learn and tweak things here and there and just learn what your brand is, what your vibe is, and how to really master your own social media. So anyways, I'm going to hop off here 1 minute early, but I wanted to value everybody's time for sure. Thank you guys for hopping on. I'm going to be going live much more consistently in here, providing a lot more value in here. Now that it is 2019, I am ripped forward and ready to go. So let me know what you want to hear, what you want to see, what you want to know more of, so I can be providing the value that you guys are looking for. Happy Monday. I love you, or happy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever you're listening to this. Let me know what you need. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.